you. My button bag. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much. I'm glad. I'm just really excited to talk about this. It's really wonderful. It's been 5 years in the making. Well, more than that, really, but 5 years just working on the audio project. Surprisingly different. Audio format is surprisingly different to write for because you don't have a lot of the stuff that you think you rely on with performance of people's faces, with the camera. It's a lot of thinking about your audience point of view and making sure they're not confused, and making sure you're painting the world and the place and the action in a way that's understandable, that people don't have to come out to, of the immersion to be like, what just happened? So that's been a really huge process. You know, we have a narrator character played by Neil Gaiman who helps a little bit, but at the end of the day, you have to craft your scenes in a little bit different way than you would if you were writing straight a film or TV. Because again, you take a lot for granted when you have a camera on someone. Neil Gaiman is pretty great. I will say that he is, and the fact that he decided to do this was, I did not think that he would agree to do it. I do know him. I consider him a friend, and you know, whenever you ask your friend a favor, you feel kind of shy about it. So I'm like, please don't feel any pressure, but will you do this for me? And the fact that he said that he would do it because, not because he was a friend, but because it was good, was literally made me cry. Because his opinion is probably the best opinion in the world, and in this genre as well. I couldn't ask for a better compliment, and he brought so much to the table. His humor, his improv, like it really is, you know, most of it was scripted, but here and there there'll be a little line, you know, thrown in by some of the cast members, especially London, who's a comic, like, it's just like cracked me up. So it's the biggest gift in the world. This cast and the crew has just been amazing. So I originally wrote the first episode as a TV series, a TV pilot, and I did pitch it to all the networks. 2015, I think. It was a long time ago, y'all. And they did not buy it, and it was very crushing. In fact, there were some very rude rejections for some people, and you know what? Those people aren't working as executives anymore, so that's pretty funny. A little bit of sweet revenge. But you know, I got really devastated, and I ended up doing a lot of development for other people's projects, and it was not very great, and just not a very good experience, Hollywood writing for me. Then I was able to work with Audible and making this one of their originals, and they were like, okay, great, 10 episodes. I was like, wait, what? And that was the opposite, because suddenly I'm here, and because of circumstances, I ended up writing almost all of it alone. I had some joke writers who came in after many of the drafts to help me like punch up a little bit, some friends. But at the end of the day, I wrote 400 pages plus myself. And that was more, I think, than any other project I've written, even longer than my books, which is very funny. So it was like going from 0 to 100. And what was wonderful about it was being able to know that everything needed to be written before we recorded. So I could really take the time to build the arcs exactly the way I wanted them, do the callbacks exactly the way I wanted them. And so I hope people appreciate that. Like, this is a comedy, and it's a fantasy comedy, but it's not a sketch comedy. It's not a joke. Like, they're jokes, but because the characters are in real situations. There's life and death stakes. There's drama. There's, you know, heartbreak in a way. And there's real issues that we're working with. And I really hope people, when they listen to this whole, which is a whole, essentially a season of television, I really hope they feel that satisfaction of going through a real story. You know, this is a new format for me, so I can only hope that people really, really love it as much as I do. And I mean, it's my baby. Like, I will advocate for it to, you know, to the nth degree. You know, I definitely love the characters a lot. You know, there could be other ways to do these characters and tell stories with them, but to me, this is a very satisfying whole. You know, you're not going to walk away from this feeling like, oh, there's a cliffhanger. You know, like, that's what's really important to me. If you make great characters, you can take characters anywhere. but the plot needs to be satisfying, and that's what I really aim to do.
So, going from writing the script to actually going into production, when you imagined this in your head, did anything change now that you've heard the new episodes?
You mean like that? Now that I heard it, like.
Now that everything's kind of come together and you have voice actors and have the sound effects, but you imagined in your head, was it different?
Oh yeah, I mean, again, it's been 6 months of post-production on it, and the attention to detail on, especially the magical effects, the portals, the fairy wings, like just little details like that. I didn't really appreciate how much work. I was like, how long is it going to take to get these things done? And we used every single minute of it because the revisions, the thoughtfulness, I can't talk enough about the soundtrack. Mumble, they're up in San Francisco where the story is set, and so they would go out and record things on at the wharf to put in here. It's so authentic and wonderful, and a lot of it is sourced from the 60s because I wanted that sort of like very granola hippie vibe of San Francisco. I wanted to feel real and gritty, and they really accomplished it. So I will say that, especially the music and the sound design, it's bigger and more cool than I ever could imagine in audio. And I think that's really a testament to the quality level that Audible is offering with their originals. Oh my gosh. Well, I could just say Jacqueline Carey has a new book out, and she's a fantasy author who I adore. In fact, I interviewed her at, I think, a 2008 Comic-Con, and it was like an interview, but it wasn't really, just me with a cell phone, and like I was so nervous. So the fact that her new book is coming out is really exciting to me. Yeah. I can't talk about any TV or film things because I'm on strike. I'm actually on double strike right now, and I'm really, I'm able to be here talking about this because it's a different kind of contract. But at the end, my heart is on the strike line, especially as somebody who's been through it with TV writing. I mean, the writers, the things that are going on in this industry are really, really bad. And for me, if I wasn't a diversified performer and creator, I would really, really be struggling, just like my friends are. It's not like I'm not struggling, but I'm diversified. So I protected myself a little only because I work outside the system. But a lot of people are having to quit because of the financial bottom line right now. And so I'm not thinking ahead for this project. I'm just thinking about the audio right now. And I'm just really super proud of it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Yeah. I mean, unionization is happening all around across the country, not as a coincidence. It's because labor force is not being appreciated, and profits are going sky high. That doesn't work. Thanks. All right, great. Oh yeah, you want more question? Yeah.
What was it like working with Audible in general? I feel like they're very supportive of the original artists. When they said yes, it must have been very exciting.
It was an amazing opportunity and very intimidating. Like I originally wanted to have someone help me write with me, but it just happened that COVID just kind of destroyed every opportunity for that. And so I ended up writing it, and it turned out to be the best gift ever because now I'm a much better writer, and the fact that I got to follow the story through and make it very personal on every level is amazing. And like I said, I've had a lot of development with executives, and it hasn't been the best experiences for me in Hollywood. I know that that's not universal. There are great executives out there. I just happened to roll the die. But I will say that every note I got from Audible was something that made me excited, and I think made it better, especially since they know audio format. That was really something that working with them to make sure every scene was accessible and clear, understandable, and vivid was really a cool process. I really am thankful for that. Thanks a lot. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Yes.